Hey, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren, and today I got something new I'm going to play with. I got the UltraQ from BBQ Guru, brand new. It's only been out a couple months now, and this is a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth temperature controller. This particular one can work on just about any grill. They have a lot of different accessories, and you can attach it to pretty much any grill you got out there. So I'm actually going to hook this up to my Hasty Bake. Haven't seen a lot of videos out there of that, so I'll be back, show you how I'm going to do it.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
So okay guys, I want to go ahead and get this out of the box. I'm not going to do a full-blown review on it because I haven't used it yet. And I did get the adapter that's called the Bulkhead Adapter from BBQ Guru that allows you to pretty much attach any of their temp controllers to pretty much any grill. You can actually cut a hole 1 3/8 inch around using either a hole saw or a step bit or something like that into just about any metal smoker, and install a bulkhead adapter that this will plug right into. And that's what I did on the Hasty Bake. I'm going to show you what I did with that, but let's get this thing out of the box. Literally comes in a pretty decent package, pretty decent. It's got some instructions on the back, kind of tells you how you can use it with a Kamado type grill and all that, and what it really does. Like I said, this one is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and I already did one of the things you do with any electronics like this, especially if it's Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, has any kind of programming. You need to update the firmware, because usually these sit in a box for a couple months before they actually get set up, and with software it can be updated on a regular basis. So that's one of the things you do have to do. Is first thing is update the firmware. Now this particular model, it has all the instructions online on how to do it, and when you actually download the application, it'll also walk you through it as well. YouTube channel for BBQ Guru, and also on their website, they have all the videos that kind of walk you through on how to update the firmware and everything. So I suggest that you watch those, because they don't really send you any kind of paper manuals or anything like that. You should be able to just do it online. So one of the things it does come with, unlike some other brands out there, it does come with a mount, so that you can actually mount this pretty much anywhere and have it on any type of grill, so that you're not laying it somewhere on its side or something like that. You can actually attach this pretty much anywhere. This is the unit itself. This is what controls the temperature, and actually has the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into this. And this will take up to 4 probes. This standardly comes with I think 1 temperature pit probe and 1 food probe, but I actually got a couple extra probes in here so I can have the full extent. The pit probes and food probes look a little different from each other. The pit probe actually has an alligator clip on it, so that it can clip on to just about any grill. You can actually clip this onto your analog thermometer, so you can have your reading, try to read exactly what your analog thermometer is reading. It also comes with your pit Viper fan. I got the universal kit here, and what the universal kit comes with is your different adapters for Kamado type grills, and some other type grills, your Weber kettle, stuff like that. It comes with the basic stuff. Now the bulkhead adapter is a separate unit that is $40, but it actually, like I said, it will let you connect that to anything. You can connect it to your stick burner, you can Old Smokies, any type of grill you have, you can actually do it. And that's what I got for the Hasty Bake, because the Hasty Bake's really not set up unless you get into the Pro 357 model, it's really not set up to take a temperature controller. So, all right, so this is the pit fan, and this is what's going to control a lot of the temperature. And what this has here, it's got a little sliding cutoff. So you can slide it one way, it opens the fan all the way up so the fan can get some air into your chamber, and you can slide it this way, and then that cuts off the air supply. So you can actually snuff out your charcoal and your wood and your fire. So that's the pit fan. This here is your power adapter, and the power adapter needs to plug in just in a certain way into the adapter here. This cord plugs in. You got to make sure that you get this exactly the way it's supposed to be, so that it has the right amperage and voltage and all that. So you do got to make sure you watch the directions and make sure when you plug this in, it's in exactly the way it should be, or it won't work. All right, got some other bolts for the this here I think is for the mount itself. And that's it. It does come with a quick start setup here. It actually just asks you to download the app, and the app will pretty much walk you through it, but you can also go to the BBQ Guru's website to get all the instructions you need. You really don't need to have a paper instructions anymore. All right, so that's what comes in the box, guys. It's pretty simple. You got your universal kit, which you can connect to your Weber kettle, your Kamados, stuff like that. It has your food and pit probes, has your mount that we're going to put together, your pit fan, and your controller. So, all right, let me put this all together, and then we'll take a look at it, get it on the Hasty Bake. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how I set up the Hasty Bake to be able to use this UltraQ. And one of the things you got to do is you make sure that the hole that you're going to drill lines up with your bottom vent so that it hits the charcoal just right in the charcoal basket. But you also got to make sure that you don't interfere with the second plate or your handle. So make sure you measure it just right, put it right in this spot right here. It's going to be perfect because it's in the right proper alignment. I used a hole saw for this particular job, but what you should use is a step drill bit. It might be a little bit easier because I ended up scratching my grill a little bit more than I wanted to. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I want to show you just where I had this hooked up on the Hasty Bake. Like I said, the Hasty Bake is really not set up, especially the Gourmet or any of the lower line other than the Pro, is not really set up to have a temperature controller hooked up to it. So if you want to, you really need to drill a hole in it and set it up yourself. I chose to put it right here next to my handle, and I lined it up perfectly with my other lower vents. So what that's doing, it's actually giving me the same alignment as the normal vents would be, going right at the charcoal, and I have no issues with it getting blocked by the heat deflector or anything like that. So it's actually going to be right there in that left corner where the charcoal is. So that's why I set this up like that. I'm going to kind of show you a little bit more up close what it looks like. And if you can see it right here, this is the Bulkhead Adapter, and all it is pretty much it's a tube. And you can actually go different thicknesses. If you see how long it is, it can actually, if you've got a thicker double-walled smoker or a big type of pit barrel or all kinds of different cookers, you got the ability to go as pretty deep as you want. It does have this little cap on the end, so when you're not using it, if you want to just use it as a regular grill, or without using it with the temp controller, you just put that on, and then there's no air getting in there. I'm going to show you how to open it up. And as you can see, just want to make sure I turn it so you guys can see here. See this side, it comes out right here next to the handle, lined up perfectly with the other vent holes. And I actually got some felt here around the sides to make sure that no air gets through here when I don't want it to. And it's blowing right here is where it's blowing, and it's going to blow right into where the charcoal is. This is the charcoal basket is right here. So it's going to be blowing right into this corner, right underneath the charcoal, to be able to control the temperature. And right where I have it, it doesn't interfere with the door handle at all. It, sorry, got something, there we go. Doesn't interfere with the door handle at all. It's just, it's a perfect spot for it. I don't have to worry about that other piece of sheet metal that's on this side in between here and the other vents. That's for the other vents. So another thing I did do, and you may or may not want to or have to do it this way, but I did put a little bit of felt gasket around the door here, both the fire door and the door up here, just to try and control more of the airflow so that I don't have big airflow leaks. Because when you use a temp controller, you're trying to control as much as possible the airflow in and out of the cooker. So the more leaks you have, the more problems you may have, the controller may have of trying to control the temperature. That's it. We're going to cook a pork butt, use the UltraQ for the first time on the Hasty Bake, and see how it goes. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm going to walk you through how I'm going to light this Hasty Bake up here. And normally what you do is you put the fire starter in the ash pan, just like I have the charcoal filled with lump charcoal. I've got some wood scattered throughout the lump. I have my heat deflector in place, but I also have a drip pan, water pan on top of my heat deflector. I'm using that mostly as a drip pan to collect any of the excess fat from this big pork butt that's going on. I don't want it to get all over my heat deflector and drip back down into the fire. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. We're going to use a fire starter here, put it in the ash collection basket right underneath the charcoal. Let that catch the charcoal right there in that corner. Don't really need a big fire because we are trying to do a lower and slower cook here. So we're just going to let it burn. Leave your fire door and your top door open until that gets caught pretty good. Then you can tighten that up, close it up, let it burn out a little bit longer. I put my fan in place so you can see how it looks in the Bulkhead Adapter. So that's exactly where it's going to go. I usually let my fire go a good 5 to 10 minutes before I will turn the heat deflector and turn the fan on. So let the fire get going a good 5 to 10 minutes at least before you turn it on. And then we're going to go ahead and set up the BBQ Guru. It's really easy to set it up on the Wi-Fi. I'll let you do that through the website, but I just want to show you I did plug the pit probe and the food probe in, and it reads them automatically. As soon as you plug them in, it reads them and it'll start reading the temperature right away. So you really don't have to shut it down or redo it, to plug in a new pit probe or food probe. It's really easy to also adjust the temperatures. I did that a few times with this cook. I adjusted the pit temperature, and I also adjusted the temperature on the food because I decided I wanted to, instead of do a low and slow, maybe bump it to a hot and fast. So I was able to adjust the pit temperature anytime I really wanted to. I also reset the food temperature. I wanted it to let me know when it hit 160, which is usually the stall period, so I can wrap it. So you can change that as well. So that's one of the things I like about these is you can adjust them on the fly. It's really easy to save it, and then it does let you know when things are ready. So all right, well, let's get back to the cook. It's pretty easy. Well, there you go, guys. Got it. I don't know if you can tell how these LEDs are kind of hard when you're filming, but it's up to 210 right now. The fan is doing its job. You can see there is some smoke coming around the edges, but not quite as much as I think as there would have been if I didn't put some of that felt gasket around there. You don't have to put that on there if you don't feel you need it. You don't have to use a temp controller, but I decided I wanted to do that just to see how it would go. I haven't seen many videos on people using the BBQ Gurus or temp controllers with the Hasty Bakes, and I thought it would be a good excuse for me to go ahead and do one and check out the UltraQ as well. I'll be back when we're throwing that pork butt on the Hasty Bake. Hey guys, I'm just letting you see here, it did shoot just over 250, but it's should be calming back down now. The fan's off. It's got it where it is. It's gonna kind of balance out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my pork butt on, and I'll plug in the food probe, and I'll be right back. Temperature did get back down to 251. So it's gonna jump a little bit when I open this up. Ooh, do you see all that smoke? I am putting my fat cap down, but I'm putting it right over that drip pan, water pan. I'll put it right over there. I'm gonna get my food probe. Put that right in the deepest part here. Away from the bone. There you go. Get this closed up. Alright, close as I can. Temp did drop just a little bit, but it should balance right back out. Well, alright guys, my alerts are going off. Looks like I hit my temp. I had turned it up a little bit to do a hot and fast, because I really needed to kick this thing in the butt to get going. Literally kick the butt in the butt. But everything worked great. I wanted to kind of play around with it, see if I could adjust the temperature on the fly, and it would go, and it did. And it's so far it's worked like a champ. It worked pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. It held the temp. Really was able to adjust it on the fly. So if you need to think you want to install a BBQ Guru, you can always do it with that Bulkhead Adapter. Works great so far. I'll do some more cooks on this. I'll actually do a full review of the UltraQ in a couple weeks. I'm going to play around with it some more, but for this first test and first setup, this works great. Alright guys, I'm going to get this off, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching the Fire and Water Cooking channel. Make sure you follow the Fire and Water Cooking podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and all that. And I'll see you on the next Fire and Water Cooking video.